Hey there, LEGO friends, and welcome to another episode. And as usual, I'm quite excited. Tonight, I am getting to build something that I've always wondered if LEGO was going to do, and they finally did it. LEGO has stepped into the continent of Africa and actually brought us an architecture set, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Oh my goodness, I was so excited when I saw this. I've had this sitting on a shelf for a couple of weeks, and I'm finally getting around to actually building this. And man, this is exciting. This is exciting. So let's take it from the top. You know, typical LEGO 18 plus box design. I'm still wondering why they went sort of away from the architecture, you know, the specific architecture series boxes. But anyway, that's what they did. So this is the 18 plus box. Nothing too special in the bottom graphic band that they have here. Usually they hide something pretty cool in there, and I like to look for it. But there really isn't anything there that I could say is specific to the pyramid. But, you know, architecture label. It's got 1,476 pieces, and let's see what else. So you get a schematic on the side of the box, which is, you know, the direct straight on view of the pyramid. Let's see on the back. Back of the box gives you, you know, different views of the pyramid itself, the interior, the exterior backside, which they only give you half of the pyramid. So if you really want to build the full pyramid, I suppose, you know, as usual, LEGO leaves you just enough to finish it up yourself. You'd have to get a second one, and I've seen people online already getting a second one just to have the complete set. They give you the history, you know, a little bit of the current theory of how the pyramid was built. And I say the theory because, you know, there's still an argument out there going on. But then they give you a river shot with a couple of sailboats. And this is cool. I especially love this. The fact that they give you the King's Chamber and all the different chambers in there. I think it's wow. So yeah, let's let's see what is in the box, shall we? So, oh, I love this. The fact that they actually added tape rather than, oh man, what do I cut? All right, I'm gonna cut this side and I'll store it that way. So what's in here? So there are 11 bags grouped into 8 groups, right? And it looks like there will be multiple instruction booklets because this is how it came in the Jazz Quartet with multiple booklets. So let's see how many booklets we have in here. No. It's just a single booklet. Okay, that's cool. I'll take it. Okay. So you get a little bit of history of the Great Pyramid, a little bit more of the information on the design team, and then they give you comparisons of the different parts of the pyramid in comparison to history, the different features. I love that. Man, this is cool. So let's see. On page 9, we begin the instructions, and it goes all the way to page 171. So essentially 162 pages of instructions with how many steps? 177 steps. And that's what we got. This is pretty awesome. I'm quite excited about this. So without further ado, stick around. Let's see what it looks like. So here's the finished set, and as you can tell, this is huge. Huge. I've seen places where, you know, some have commented that it's about 48 by 48 studs. It's really well detailed. So the first thing that we can see is that you get, you know, sort of a temple entrance here coming from the river. Well, let's start with a river, right? So typical Lego water elements, you get the studs on the base and then, you know, the blue transparent pieces to cover it. But in this case, they used a mix of greens, light greens, and browns and blues. So they really give you the murky look of the Nile. And then you get a couple of boats, which is pretty cool. Some foliage elements to give you, you know, the feeling of plants. They actually give you a small village here. And it's really, really small. It's like smaller than micro. And as you can see, a micro figure here is one of the giant, you know, statues that you'd find in Egypt. And then you get, you know, these elements here, which I suppose are a bunch of sphinxes, you know, along the pathway into the pyramid itself. But then the two small pyramids here are, you know, smaller pyramids. Here's one thing that I find interesting. The two small pyramids actually hide two sarcophagi. I believe that's the plural. I think that's the plural. Yeah, well, if you can actually get into the pyramid, there are two sarcophagi that are hidden in there. So as you can see, and that's supposed to be members of the pharaoh's family buried there as well. So now the question is, were the pyramids actual tombs? Well, it's still debatable. Some people are still debating it because there's no, unlike other tombs that have been found, there are no decorations indicating that the pyramids were actual tombs. So who knows what they were, and there's all types of theories floating around. But in the middle of the village, you also get an obelisk, which is really cool touch. I mean, you can't have Egypt without having an obelisk. And then the cool thing about the pyramid is they give you the pyramid as it would have looked in the heydays of the Egyptian pharaonic kingdoms. But as most of you have seen in most diagrams, they also give you a cutaway of the pyramid. So you'll notice that what comes in the set is actually half a pyramid. So if you really, really want to complete the pyramid, you'd have to buy a second set. Typical Lego, they give you a reason to buy a second set, so you have something else, to build. But the difficulty with building a second set is that you'd have to go, especially because of the passageways and the king's chamber and the shape of everything, you'd have to build it opposite the graphics that are included in the instructions. So if you can do that, hey, kudos to you, and I highly, highly, highly recommend doing it. Will I get a second set? Probably, only because I like it so much. I might get a second set and just set it around, and maybe one day I'll just complete the pyramid. Along the sides, they give you the arched pieces to form, the dunes of the desert sands, which I thought was really cool touch. You get the same thing on the side. And then what I find really amazing about this is that this is removable. So let's talk about the outer shell. What you have are minifigure ladders that are used as the scaffolding for the superstructure, right? And then, of course, the very tip, you get a gold pyramid on the tip, because it is believed that was what was actually there all those centuries ago. On the inside of the pyramid is a depiction of the building process of the pyramid. One of the prevailing theory is that they took these stones and on a ramp, they dragged it up to the top of the pyramid. Okay, it's a theory, and it is the prevailing theory, so we'll stick with that. But as I said before, there are several different theories, including even aliens. And if that's what you choose to believe, okay, that's good too. But so you have cranes, you have pathways, you have rolling logs depicted with the grill pieces, and I think this is an excellent piece. The only thing, I guess, I can't say it's a bad thing. It's actually good that it's this big, because you get so much details in here. But the drawback of having something this big is space, right? Not a lot of space. If you don't have a lot of space to display this, I don't know. I honestly, I built this. I'm excited to have it, and I don't know where I'm gonna put it, because that's my Lego room. That's my limit. So one or more of these sets would have to come down if I want to display this. If not, I'll have to take it apart, put it back in the box, and continue singing the AFOL's lament of, not enough bank, not enough space, not enough Lego, But in my case, right at this moment, there isn't enough space. I don't have enough space, but I'm going to try. So this is it. This is an excellent set. I absolutely love it. And I am so glad Lego went ahead and did this. And as you can tell, it's larger than the typical architecture set. And I'm glad they did that because they put so much detail into this. But I'm also lamenting because it takes a lot of space and I don't know where to put it, but I'll figure it out. But this is not your typical architecture. This is more of a creator set, the creator expert set, than the architecture set. So, but then I guess with Lego stepping into the Lego icons, you know, you've seen the Titanic, big giant Titanic. You've seen the Eiffel Tower coming out, which stands 5 feet tall and about with a base just about this big. I am guessing that the architecture sets are only going to increase in size. So I look forward to seeing what Lego puts out next as an architecture set, and I'm really interested in seeing what size it's going to be. But I feel like Lego is heading into the bigger size range of sets. But this is a beautiful set. If you have a chance to get it, I highly recommend it. If you are a history teacher, man, this is great to have in your classroom. It's and it's a great teaching tool for teachers because it gives you so many different elements. You know, historical accuracy that you can use in the classroom, and I am so glad they added the passageways because I think that really gives it a really significant, really cool touch. And I've enjoyed building this. There were points at which it got tedious, especially when you had to build, you know, the water features. That got tedious. But it's great, and very much like other sets, you get the badge, and in this case it's in English and it says the Great Pyramid of Giza, but then you get hieroglyphs here, and I like the exchange. And for me, if I were to find a place to put it, I think I'd keep the hieroglyphs and probably put, you know, this tile right about there so you can actually see it and it's there. But I like the hieroglyphs better. But that's it. This is an excellent set, and if you're an architecture collector, definite addition to your collection. It's a must-have. If you're a regular, you know, Lego set collector, I highly recommend this too. I mean, if you can find it, if you can get your hands on it, it's a keeper. And for those of you who are Lego investors, this is going to be one of those that just skyrockets once it's retired. So if I were you, I'd grab one now. So yeah, this is it. It's a huge set with great detail, and I'm really glad I got it. It's been an enjoyable build, and I am actually really happy to have it. I just got to go find a place to put it. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. So please do stick around. We have a few more builds coming up, including, you know, the Christmas builds. But I think this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I thank you so much for the support, and thank you for sticking around. Do me a favor, in the comments, let me know what you think. I've talked to a few people who have categorically said they're not fans of this size, blah, 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 whatever reason. But do let me know what you really think about this, all right? And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. It really does help. And as always, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, play well.